$13,000. It's just this nice little secluded piece of woods, but it's like fucking ravines and canyons and shit. And I was like, that'd be pretty dope to own.
Someone could probably figure
Don't know
something
what the
out.
fuck I would do with it, but
It'd be nice to have, though.
You could put support struts in between the ravines and then build a house.
build a house, floating house.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
It'd be great until it
No,
eroded.
thank you. Yeah, and then you fall to your death.
A
And on
couple
that
years
note,
later when you're sleeping.
welcome, time's up. I'm Wayne.
Mikey.
I'm Mark.
Yay. Yay, we're on the people we are. This episode is brought to you by the Beard Struggle, Cabbage and Kings Games, and W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and
We're
Fair.
back to you saying it all now.
Yeah, well, we tried to say it with him once and it worked, and then we went back to us and you immediately fucked it up.
Without warning me, you went
Yeah,
back to
sure.
you saying it.
Didn't warn me either.
That doesn't make it okay.
I understood the second he paused.
Me and you are different people, Mark.
You know what?
I would hope you're different people.
Who
It'd be
was
nice
it?
if you guys were the same.
Who was it who's saying we're the same? Somebody online was like, you guys
I-
sound exactly the
I
same.
remember Devin.
It was Devin.
Yeah, Devin.
I was like,
Because
no,
he keeps
we're
calling
not.
you Mikey.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
That dude that
He doesn't even call you Mikey, he calls you Mike.
Yeah.
that dude that fucking Seth
Not-
was playing with sounds straight up like Mark.
Not only does he call me you, but he doesn't even call you by your nick.
Nope. He
That
uses
is
the
fucking
name
true.
that I dislike the most that people call me.
Mike?
Mike. I hate being called
I
Mike.
hate when it's like, I'll hear people say it at work, and then I just slip and I say it, and I'm like,
Yep.
God damn it.
It's weird when you say it too. I'm like,
Hey, Mike boy.
Well, it's like when I first met him, he wasn't Mikey.
Mickey.
He
That
was
was
Mickey.
Mickey.
Ooh,
And I never understood. I was like, why does everybody call him Mickey?
I don't like it.
Just something his girlfriend said to him.
Yeah, there
one
was
day.
no.
I
real
don't like
reason.
that one.
I got used to it,
Yeah,
but
I'd assume it didn't bother you much.
it was
Just
if
Mike.
Lauren didn't call, if she called me Mikey or Michael. Well, Michael was okay, but if she called me Mikey like everyone else did, I was like, no, I'm Mickey to you.
I don't think I could imagine myself ever calling you Mickey seriously.
It's weird. No one ever does anymore.
I couldn't even call your character Mickey if it was his name.
Mick. That's Rachel.
Did you say that's racial?
It is. It's an Irish.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, okay. I was like, where are you going with this?
I was like,
But
did
it
you
is.
just mispronounce Rachel's name?
No. I forgot that was a term for Irish people.
Mhm.
There's a lot of weird terms
I'm not
for a lot
Irish.
of weird
I just
people.
call them drunks.
Oh,
Hey.
Have you seen St. Patrick's Day?
I'm Irish. It's
I'm
okay.
Irish.
You can kiss me.
You might,
Well,
you might as well
okay.
change the name of St. Patrick's Day to Everybody Get Fucking Wasted Day.
I don't even think they're all Irish.
Call it
They're
second. Can we call it second Mardi Gras?
Second Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, but everywhere.
Second breakfast. Dinner, lunch, dinner, supper,
I want
second
a second
supper.
breakfast.
Linner.
Reminds me, I went back and rewatched the thing with the guy that plays Olaf from Frozen. Can't remember his name. Josh Gad,
I have no
Sure.
idea.
I believe you.
I think.
I
That's what his
believe
name
you.
is.
I trust you.
But he did a thing like it's a coming together apart kind of thing where he video calls on Zoom.
Yeah.
He had most of the cast from Lord of the Rings, like the whole Fellowship. He had them there, and he had Peter Jackson there also. Like he had them all there, and I was like, "This is actually super cool." And then they
That's
were all
pretty
just redoing their lines while they
Wow.
were there. I
They're
found
just
hard
reading the
drives.
movie. Everything they remember.
Okay, well, they were redoing their lines, and they're like, they all showed off their tattoos that they had for the thing. And as Sir Ian McKellen,
Yes, sir.
he should reveal his tattoo. He's like, as I look at it, it's upside down, and it says Gucci.
Gucci.
he's such an amazing person. It's
That's pretty
great.
good.
It says Gucci.
But as like he was talking about how like they were like redoing all their lines, and they also apparently all had props from the movie.
They'll
So
have to
they're
keep
all like
something.
pulling out their own like keepsake props. Most of them got to keep their swords.
That's pretty dope.
Well, because like as
Dope.
soon as the actor that played Gimli came on, he had his helmet on. Immediately, like, he just had his helmet on, and then he's like, "Oh, and I gotta adjust my camera." So he reset his camera up where you could only see his eyes, his eyes and the top of his head.
That's pretty good.
Did he still have his axes? He's like, ah.
It was just amazing how
I
they
want
were
to watch
doing
Lord
it
of
all.
the Rings again.
That man looks way different without a beard.
He does.
Oh my god, it's not even the same
freaking
person.
insane. It's like, because when you go back and you think about it, it's like he was in Indiana Jones, and you're like, really? No, he wasn't. And then you look at it, you're like, holy fucking shit, he was.
I know it's a fact, and I still don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
But like when my internet was all messed up, I literally went back and just watched the extended versions of The Hobbit
Really?
and worked on D&D.
Dude, I'm gonna watch today. I haven't watched Critical Role since the quarantine. I'm gonna get right back into it and start watching that season.
I'm on
episode.
episode 96.
I'm gonna get back into series 2. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm in the 50s or 60s. I'm gonna hop back into it.
Last episode I watched is episode 102.
102. So the last one.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I know things.
Yeah, playing
2 or 3.
Playing D&D today made me want to start watching it again.
Johnny's been just telling me every time.
Just watch it.
You caught up? I'm like, no.
Well, he
Like,
walked
102
inside.
was so crazy. And I'm just like,
All of
watch
us,
it.
all 7 of us were inside for maybe 5 minutes, and Johnny's just about to spoil everything. I'm like, I'm not there.
He
Stop.
doesn't. He wouldn't, because he'd ask me every.
He did. He stopped, but he was just like, yeah.
Wasn't
So
aware. He just asked me, and I was like, yeah. And then cause I was like, yeah. So last week, he's like, so you know what happens?
And then you started fucking saying it, you asshole.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't know.
He
That
was
doesn't
like,
make
you
it
mean the
less
thing
your
with
fault.
the thing with the guy? You know, when they learned about, and me and Mikey were just like, shut up.
I was just like, da, 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 da.
Like, I was just like,
Johnny was
is that
like,
a word?
shh, shh, shh. I
When
heard
he
him right
started
behind me
when,
going,
when he started doing that, I was like, oh.
I am the
And then
farthest
he's
behind.
he's like, Mikey hasn't seen it yet. And then you turn around and you're, I haven't seen it yet, you dick.
Because you were like, what? And I was like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
Trying to
I am-
spoil shit.
Honestly, I had no idea. I thought you were caught up.
No.
I am the farthest behind.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
I think I'm the only one that's watched all of the episodes, campaign 1 and 2, up to where I am.
I think I'm barely halfway through.
But I was
campaign
the
two.
first one to
I
start
skipped
watching.
through a lot of campaign 1.
I haven't watched really anything in campaign 1. I've watched their one shots, like the Hunt for Grog, the Hunt for Bob.
They're like
Their-
after
their
campaign
one-shots
1
are
one
awesome.
shots.
Yeah.
I love the one shot where they're fighting in the arena.
The Battle Royale one.
That's my favorite one.
That was when PUBG was getting big.
Yeah.
So they did a Battle Royale.
That's like, yeah, we'll do
Like,
that.
Grog was just fucking destroying everything.
Fucking
feel like
broke
my-
out of her necklace.
Yeah.
I
That
kind
was
of feel like
wild.
my character is already like that in that party, and we're only level 5.
You're just smarter. You say smarter things than Grog.
Yeah.
I do. I literally, that's the only difference. I think Grog's intelligence stat and mine are almost the same. I think his was like 9 and mine's like 10.
Well, that was his thing when he came into it. He wanted to be a dumb barbarian.
Yeah.
Because he didn't think he would like enjoy it a lot.
My guy's not necessarily smart. He's inquisitive because everything is new to him because he's always been in the north.
You're also well spoken.
He's always been with the dwarves. Yeah, we're not savages, even though I'm a barbarian. And we have wisdom above intelligence. So, like, everything I know from books. But those books aren't, like, informative encyclopedias. They're, like, fairy tale storybooks.
Yeah.
So I know what a king is. But to me, a king is, like, somebody who was a peasant, came up, became the strongest and the smartest, and deserves his position. Not somebody who was born into it.
Not
and-
actual kingdom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a real
In
king.
our world, at least.
It's not a real corrupt
we were
king.
pumping gas, and as soon as he walks up to me, he's like, "My character doesn't understand nobility." I'm like, "Excuse me?"
My character
Yeah.
doesn't.
Well, he was asking. We
He's
were
had an
talking about my
epiphany.
character, and I was like, "Yeah, my character." He's like, "He's not a dumb guy, but as far as like common sense for the most of the world, like what you and Johnny would know is to be common. Like my guy doesn't know dick about shit. Somebody's gonna shoot a fireball, and he's gonna be fucking lost."
I don't know how. I don't understand how magic works.
You just know it's a thing.
I know it's a thing. I'm just like, I don't fucking know what
'Cause you've
happens,
seen
how it
people use
happened.
it.
I didn't know our cleric does magic. I thought he just had shiny hands.
He thought he was just shiny hands and
Yeah,
slipped you a
shiny hand
potion or
guy.
some shit.
Yeah, he touched the dude, he feels better. It's masseuse. I don't know.
I did like how Nick's like as soon as he was cast spell, Nick's like, "You gotta touch me."
You gotta touch me. He was like, okay. Devin wasn't really. I think Devin was extremely overprepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because like when we set up their characters, part of it's my fault because I never printed off their characters, and I never gave them a character sheet, and I can't remember how to share it to them through D&D Beyond. So I was like,
Tough shit.
So I just handed them character sheets and said, "Write it down." And then I thought about that, and I was like, Nick and Devin both have terrible handwriting, and then I was like, oh, Alex is gonna write it down.
So I'm the opposite of everybody else. Everybody else has a character sheet on D&D Beyond. My dude is a level 1 barbarian human because they don't have my race. I didn't level him up. I didn't pick
Forgot
any of
about
his
that.
feats or equipment. He's literally just the absolute minimum necessary to have a character in a campaign. And then I've just written it all down because I'm used to character sheets.
Yeah. I mean, I do prefer
There's
character.
definitely aspects of a character sheet that the app won't do.
I just think that it would be better if the app didn't make it to where you had to buy the book
Yeah.
for you to have it. Like,
I
there should be a
think-
code in the book.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be able to scan a book you
Yeah.
physically
There
own.
should be a or a QR code one time something,
Mm.
so that way people can't just walk into
Yeah.
Dan's shop and just be like boop 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 boop.
I,
You know what I mean? That'd be pretty
I
stupid.
went from only having a little bit of books to having the most of the books now.
Yeah.
I never planned on buying
The
any
primal
more.
path I wanted to take is in Xanthar's Guide, but then I was just like, screw it. I have the
You should
handbook
have said
with
something.
me.
I might have just bought it today.
Well, you have one already.
Oh, do I? No, I do have it. Yeah. Duh.
But I didn't want to keep borrowing the book just to remember what my stuff does, so I was like, screw it. Because it was going to make me tanky. It was going to make me the tank.
I knew there was different ways for me to get, like, obviously a rogue has multiple
Well, there's
types
one.
they can be, but
Well, like in
my
D&D
option
Beyond,
was
since you-
thief.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I am.
The one I wanted to pick is called Ancestral Guardian. And what it does is when I rage, I summon a spectral warrior or two that don't do any damage, but they give an ally, if I tell them to protect an ally, they give that ally resistances to all damage coming from exactly one enemy, not all of them, or they slow an enemy down and give me advantage on an attack against him. Which I was like, that's dumb as shit. That makes me like the super tank.
That would be cool though.
I wanted to be an arcane trickster because I wanted to dabble in spellcasting.
Depending on the book, if I have it in the book, we just work on it.
I'm
You just gotta stay
my
thief.
backstory
shut
makes
up.
me if I
mean,
would have
sure.
had the choice to make it my backstory, I would have changed it. But I'm a thief, so it's just I was a thief
Yeah.
growing up. And that's all I'll stick with. It's not. I have never been a rogue anyway, so it's still gonna be
Yeah.
new to me.
I think the session we did today went a little slow,
Oh, yeah.
but it should pick up in the next one because it did a little bit more understanding.
We can also jump right into it.
You know who
Yeah.
I think was a little unprepared was Johnny. I don't think he was ready for how much of my character I was going to play.
Nope.
Because there was one point where he out loud looked at me and said, "Man, you have a lot of backstory ready." I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to play this, dude.
Prepared.
I'm ready to role play."
Because we've never played with people that really want to play. We've played with. I mean, the first time we all played our campaign, we were all new to D&D.
I was
So
new to
it was-
DMing.
Yeah. You were new to DMing. We've never played D&D. Besides our shitty little Pathfinder game. But there was
And that
no
went
story with
fucking
that.
flawlessly.
We winged 90% of that. We had absolutely no idea how the game worked.
Flawlessly, he says.
Yep.
Like, we were taking... You guys
The
were
words
fucking
of a
taking
liar.
short rests left and right.
Yeah, man, short
Yes,
rest
we were.
heals you as much as a potion.
That's what we did.
Short rest, short rest, short rest, short rest. Fight something, short rest. In a cave. And I was like, I don't know, I'll just roll dice and see if it's these numbers, something will happen.
I think what, and I think it's a good thing that 3 of us have played D&D a bunch. Well, 4 of us technically,
More.
but you're DMing, you're not playing a
Yeah.
character. That Nick and Devin are getting in. Well, they're going to be exposed to people who are, and I know you and Johnny are going to get more into it, who are role playing.
So
they'll
you're
be,
more role playing. We're like,
Yep,
there.
they'll be more comfortable in a role playing aspect. 'Cause a lot of people don't role play when they start playing D&D.
Correct, because they don't know how to do it.
And then I think also the one thing I really want to drill into him, just because it annoys me in other games that I've had with people who don't get it, a 20 is not a crit. 20 is a crit if you're fighting something.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
can-
roll.
yeah, like
you
you
can't
said.
critically pick a lock.
that just happened in
You do it.
that just happened in Critical Role.
Yeah.
Yasha was playing a harp or violin or something, and she got a nat 20. And Matt was like, "That doesn't mean anything special. You just
You succeed.
you have a 20."
Yep.
He was like, "It's not a critical. He was like, you just have a 20. You play very well."
You succeed.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's just
like,
like there are those people that no matter at any time they roll 20,
they're
it's
like,
a natural 20 every time. Natural 20. It's like natural 20 only matters when you're
you're
fighting.
like,
Yeah.
correct.
Still
it
be
is a
excited about
natural
it.
20. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
Still
That's
be
awesome.
excited about
You
it because a
succeeded.
20 means success. So like,
Yes.
if you have, if you're really just like, you're stretching it. You're going for the ropes. You're just pulling it out of your ass,
Like you have
trying
a-
to deceive
yeah,
somebody.
low DC on failure.
And
or
you're
success.
not, you're not the charismatic person in the party. Like me, who is a -1, and I get a natural 20. Oh, fuck yeah, 19.
Somehow
I actually talked to
you
somebody.
randomly- you managed to do it. But it's like, in that situation, a 15 is just as good as a natural 20 if the DC is
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
It's like anything 11 and above basically is.
But as like,
Perfect.
as you can see, kind of how like people think about the D&D game, you can tell like what they do like immediately in the game. The first thing you wanted to do when you got into town was find food to buy. You wanted to go get stuff to make your poisons.
Well, yeah, you said
Yeah, so like
food
that.
was going to be important. Like
It
we
is.
were going to have to eat. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
somebody's got to do it, so I'll do
You
it.
do.
I just assumed
you
that
are
first night
required
when
to
you
eat.
cooked everything, I was like, Mark's our cook then.
Yeah, well, he said it was going to be important, so I was like, I might as well start it immediately.
Mhm.
Somebody has to do
That's
it.
why I wanted jerky just so I could
Yeah.
snack.
What a
my
bunch of
realistic goal
guys.
for this is-
Well, instead of whatever it is we were talking about, let's talk about cabbages and kings. Previously known as Titan Games, Cabbages and Kings is a tabletop game store in Peoria Heights. Whatever you're interested in, whether it's figures, board games, or trading card games, Cabbages and Kings has you covered. Not sure what you like? Then give them a call or message them on Facebook and ask for a suggestion. Dan will always be able to help you out. And let's not forget about their new Rent a Game program they have. For $5, you can rent a game for up to 3 days. So make sure to ask for more details about that the next time you're in there. Last but not least, if you have a busy schedule and you can't always get there, you can always order online and pick it up at your earliest convenience at cabbagesandkings.games. Remember guys, that's cabbagesandkings.games. Cabbages and Kings, the best source of board games around.
So I can snack.
My realistic goal for this is for you all to adopt your own like profession in the story. You know?
Like a profession.
Yeah, like a blacksmith or a leather worker.
Oh, okay. So a set of skills that we are.
Yeah, stuff that
We
you can
do.
do on
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah,
that
these won't
you
be like
will-
proficiencies.
Like you'll still get level in it, but it'll be a different level aside from everything, and you can make better stuff.
Mm.
So that way, if you want, if someone can enchant things, being the only person in your party that could enchant anything is Devin.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that has access to magic.
I didn't take the wild barbarian, so I don't.
So if you were to enchant, like you guys like craft something super cool, and you're like, oh, can you enchant this? And if he's a high enough level to enchant
So
it, you
yes,
can
I
enchant it and make it better than what it is.
I
Give
wanted
me,
to
like,
take the
special
wild surge barbarian, but I started reading his list. When he rages, he does a random spell effect that you roll off
Wow.
of a chart with a d20, I believe it is.
Yep.
And more than half of them hurt everyone within 30 feet. And I was like, well, that's my party, so no.
So no, thank you.
Correct. It's not great.
Let me not do that.
I do think I did hit it pretty good on the beginning with the whole combat not killing you.
I didn't
immediately.
hit anything. I tried.
I just kept them at a regular CR rating if they are.
I definitely enjoyed chopping this dude in half. Our dwarf is in trouble. Kill him real fast to go back.
Not just kill him, kill the leader of the orcs.
To be fair, they had already done 23 damage to it. I did not do 23 in one hit. I'm
Right.
pretty sure I did do enough to kill him with both of my hits, because I had 3 total and I only used 2.
Then you ran back and killed
But-
the other one.
That aside, I definitely probably would have killed him immediately.
Yeah, I mean like their
That's not important.
HP is only 15 and his was 30.
Yeah. I absolutely would have killed him then.
I didn't want to do like the last time when we started the game and then
We
it
almost got
immediately almost
murked by
fucking
goblins.
TPK.
My first hit, maximum damage immediately. It's like, nice.
Yeah. Well, like the stuff that you guys are preparing for in this story is going to be a lot different than like regular stuff. Because
That's
I
gonna
went
beat
about it a
us
whole different way.
I bet it's going to beat us up.
At certain aspects, depending on what's going on, you will be dancing with death.
I got really lucky with my health rolls because we're going to need all 76 of it.
All 76.
We're going to need it.
One day we should just do an all barbarian party. It'd be a Viking campaign.
That's basically what my guy is now. He's just a not raping, pillaging Viking. They don't do that.
Sophisticated.
That would be
man.
pretty sweet, though. An all barbarian campaign. I already ordered my mini for the next campaign I play in.
I'm gonna get my mini soon.
Yeah, I ordered Nick and Devin's. I just ordered them in steel because I'm not going to worry about painting them.
I checked out that Eldritch Foundry.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Really?
It doesn't have enough options.
They're
It let me pick a Goliath, but I couldn't. I could barely change his clothes. I'm not allowed to give him hair.
I
can't
remember
change his
that one.
height.
You can change the height of a human and stuff to make it look like a Goliath.
Because that was the first one we came across was Eldritch Foundry.
The first one I found out was Hero Forge.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do Hero Forge.
'Cause that's what
there's no
we-
Goliath on Hero Forge, but I know I can make something big enough to be a
Yeah,
Goliath.
you can make a.
You could literally take a human, make it.
It really depends. Get a bald human. Because are you a bald?
No.
No.
I have hair.
What's your hair?
Wild.
Oh wow.
It's just gonna be whatever my hair is.
Yeah, you could. I mean, it really.
At first, when he
Depends
told
on
me he
how
was
you
going to be a
paint him.
Goliath barbarian, I just pictured a little bit smarter Grog.
Me too. So I was like bald.
Bald, got a beard. He's there.
No.
No.
Well, it said +2 to strength, and I was like, knowing my luck, I'm not gonna roll very great on my stats. I'm gonna need that.
I have good stats.
And then I rolled decent.
I normally at least have one negative. I have something that goes negative
think-
1, but I have no.
I don't think I
negatives.
actually have any. I think charisma and int are both zeros.
I have 1 0. Everything else is I have like 2 3s, 2 +3s, and a +2 in rest are +1. So
I think everything else is 2 2s and a 3 and a 4. Everything, the other 2 are zeros.
Johnny has like 2
Depends on whatever
zeros,
monster I give you.
2 4s, a couple other things.
So my stats aren't bad. They're pretty good.
I think our party rolled as a joint. We all rolled pretty good.
Yeah. I
My
mean,
health's not great, but
That's
what am I gonna
the
do?
one
Well,
thing that didn't go great.
I'm also
Nick's
a
health is duty.
Yeah, his health is almost the same
He's
as
a
mine.
fighter and he has 37 health. He
He has
rolled
4
really
more health
bad.
than me.
His hit rolled and it was not great.
He rolled really bad.
He should not have 4 more health than the rogue.
I'm gonna double check him and make sure that it was rolled properly.
Well, because he's supposed to roll d10s.
Yeah,
And I don't know if he added his con modifier.
That's what I'm thinking.
That-
Didn't happen.
I don't
So
know
I'm
if he
gonna
added
double
his.
check on that. And
That's what I'm
figure it
saying.
out.
It'd be really hard for him to get
He almost got 1 hit.
almost
That, or I
my
may
health.
just roll him new health.
Yeah, one
As
round
a
of
fighter,
combat.
he should have more health.
Yeah.
One round of combat almost killed him.
Like, because Devin has more health than Nick, I think. If not more, it's pretty close.
I got hit twice with almost enough damage to kill Nick, and my guy was like, "Whatever."
You're like, I'll fuck you up.
I was like, "Fucking sure."
Yeah.
Wayne was like, 27 damage. Okay, I'll take it.
It was
I think Johnny has more health than me, but he's a monk, so he should.
You know what the dumb part is? I took more damage than I was supposed to because I was raging, so I have resistance to slashing, stabbing, and
Mm-hmm.
bludgeoning weapons. I should have taken
That's
half
true.
that damage.
Yep, you should have been half.
That's
But
what
it
it
didn't
wasn't
even
gonna
matter
kill you
anyways.
anyway.
No, I think even if we add that in, I took like
their CR rating 0
I
corpse.
took like 13 damage. I was like, whatever.
You guys could have done this at level 1 without a threat.
I could have done this alone.
Anybody in the party could have
Most
done it
definitely.
alone.
I don't
Except
think
for Nick,
I could
apparently.
have.
Well, it's just because he got unlucky because
He got hit
ended up
really
fighting
hard.
the war chief and it has 2 attacks.
He got hit really hard. Yeah.
I don't think Devin could have done it alone
I mean, he could heal himself in between.
against 5 orcs. Just like blah 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 blah. You're at 1 HP.
I do find it funny how he's like, I cast like the spiritual weapon. I'm like, okay, what is your spiritual
I don't know.
weapon?
It's a long sword.
I was like, no, basic, but okay.
I was looking at the broken mini stand. I was like, it's a candle.
I was like, it's a penis.
Well, because I pulled it out and then I was like, I really don't have like a weapon made for this or anything. Because like I don't.
Mhm. Didn't we
So
have?
just
Did we
put
have
it in.
little rubber bands for effects? Did
We
we
used
use?
to.
That's what I thought. I thought we used stuff for effects.
Yeah, because we used soda tab bottle, like
Yeah,
not like
little
not
rings.
tabs, but like the ring around
Yeah, a
the
little
bottle.
ring around the bottle.
Yeah, we can just
Tight.
steal them off some milks and stuff. Blues
Yeah,
and pinks.
because I had different colors and everything like that. Well, because that's when I was like real heavy into like figuring things out, and then I was like, GM tips, and then it's like, oh, literally everybody's using these bottle cap effects. So I was like, I'll
Simple.
use them too.
They're simple.
They are simple, and you understand what's going on.
Yeah, they work.
That's like my thing. I love the aspect of using minis and everything, but the whole campaign isn't just using minis.
No.
It isn't about
Only battles minis and
yeah.
Critical Role. You can. I think I went like I said before, like 2 or 3 episodes, and they
And
didn't.
they were just talking.
All they did was dialogue the whole time.
Like also, Nick and Devin seemed surprised when I told them how long it was going to take for them to get their armor and weapons ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see Nick like, and I was
It's
like,
not
"You'll get it
instant.
when we come back,
3 days.
because we're leaving now."
Shit is
It,
not.
it might not even be done when we get back because
And we might get done 2 days.
It'll only take us like a day to get there and back. Assuming we win the fight when we get there, it'll only take us another day to get
Because
back.
the guy said 1 to 2 days.
1 to 2 days, but it depends on how you travel.
Yeah, I have no horses.
Well, if it's 1 to 2
It's
days,
like when we first sat down, I was like, no one asked about Stuart.
yeah, he was really
Yeah.
sad that we didn't ask about the angel.
Fuck that
I
guy.
was like, I had a whole bunch of stuff for Stuart, and everybody just said, "Fuck that guy," and I was like, "Cool."
Well, we met 2 people in a row, and we know, other than learning we have to fight people, we didn't really ask what we were supposed to do. I was like, Wayne's probably waiting to tell us what we're supposed to do. So when we got to the end, I was like, yeah, we got brought here by that go. Where did he go? What are we doing here? And Wayne was like, you're fighting the bad guys.
I was asking the dwarf dude a lot. Where are we going? What are we doing? I was getting ready to ask him, do we get a reward? And then Nick said, do we get whatever?
Do we
Glory.
get
Yeah.
when do I get the glory?
Yeah, so where do we get this glory?
Oh, I drank all my soda.
It's when you finish the quest. It's when you get the glory. Only then, and only then.
Little does he know glory is like money. And he's just like, yeah, here's 20 glory.
Here's a couple bucks.
Here's 20 glory.
No, I'd say the
What?
glory is knowing that your world is safe. Because it's like when you guys were like, well, why us? It's like, well, you're the next fucking world on his list. So
I was like-
do you want to help or not? We stop him here? We deal with it now? Yes.
Hey, as long as my guy goes to go back, he's happy. Because he wants to go back. Like, he's got something he's got to do.
Trying to figure out his
I'm just
life.
along for the ride.
Well, I've fleshed that out a little bit more. So, like, he knows his goal. He just doesn't know how he's supposed to get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
My plan is this: it's gonna be a while before you guys go home.
Well, he'll accomplish his goal here. He just doesn't know he's going to. Because he doesn't know what he's looking for. What he wants, there's 3 major, like, titles you can have in the village. You can either be the chief, one person gets that, or you can be an elder, which most people who would become elders are groomed for it, or you can become a war god. And a war god is purely a title to invoke fear in enemies. You're not actually a god, but you are like the pinnacle of strength. Like, you are an unmatched warrior. Only someone else who is have the title of a war god could even try to fight you. Nobody else would stand a chance. And they have basically anything they want. Like, they say this is happening. The only people who could say no are if 3 of the 5 elders agree that it can't, or the chief says it can't. They're the only people who can veto a war god. But his whole thing is like, my uncle's the chief, and my dad is a master craftsman. Everybody who has our name, the family name, the Tormounders, has done something important. Even his mom is getting groomed to be an elder. He's like, I'm here doing nothing. What about me? So he's like, I'll just be a war god.
I'll just be a war god.
But the elders, when he went to the elders because he wanted to try for it, they're like, nope, you don't have the stuff. You're missing it. It's like, you could be strong enough.
You're just missing something.
But right now you're not. And he's like, well, what am I missing? They didn't tell him.
They're
Like, you
like,
have to
"Man."
figure it out. Because he wants to be war god, like, for vanity reasons. And they're like, not good enough.
Yeah. Some kind of.
Needs to be a war god for multiple reasons.
So he's out.
Something
He's
deeper.
out looking for what he's missing, but he thinks whatever he's missing is like a
Like-
physical, seeable
Yeah.
thing. Like, he doesn't know it's
Materialistic
internal.
something.
He thinks it's external.
Yeah.
So that's his path. He's
Big
gonna.
dumb
He's on
barbarian.
a whole spiritual journey.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. That's what Johnny was like. Said something about when I checked my coin purse, made money. Johnny did this. He was like, opened it up and was like, 1, 2, and I was like, I just want to make sure it was there. He was like, nah, your guy likes money, and I was like, no. He was like, you're like a thief, and I was like, no, I like materialistic things. I don't like money. I was like, I like things.
You know,
When he
it's
gets
all there.
things.
Yes, I'm a thief, and I get things.
Steep prices, but okay. You gotta think. And I gave you guys so much gold for a reason. This world's expensive.
He was like,
Yeah, Johnny looked up the map. He was like, map normally costs 1 gold. I got chipped.
you were just like 120 gold. I was like, could I trade you some spices?
Yeah, you can always negotiate prices.
And,
I forgot
and the
what I
guy was like,
paid.
spices. I was like, try this. I was
You
like,
gotta remember. You gotta remember. You're here to help these people.
yeah, I
They're
gave,
willing to compromise with you.
I gave him some spices, some good spices.
I don't even know what I paid.
You wrote it down though, right?
No. I think it was 50 gold, though.
Mine was 80.
I'm pretty sure it was 50.
Talked a whole 40 out of him.
Oh yeah, it was because you bought the
Poison and
poison stuff for 3 poison vials. The ingredients for it.
I bought both the poison things. Paralysis and bleed.
Yep.
Whatever you called it.
But yeah, my guys.
You
Just
didn't call
die.
it that, but bleed.
Yeah.
And just slowly
It just
takes
kills you,
life,
yeah.
yeah.
We'll
Bleeds
call,
leech.
we'll call it a vampirism.
The leech
Yeah,
potion.
Either one. You use leech.
Just little vials of it.
Leech seed.
Super effective.
But yeah,
Yeah.
my guy's just ready. Like, anybody's just like, you know what? Let's get down on some dialogue. And my dude's like, I'm ready. Hey, what's in that cask you got? It's a secret.
It's a secret. Okay.
That's all it is. It's a secret.
It has a purpose. It doesn't do anything magic at all. It's just mead from the village. But
Just
it's
special to me.
yeah, it's very special to my people, to the
It's
village.
mead from your home.
It'll get you a little high
A little high.
if you're not a giant. Like, if Goliaths don't get high because
Yeah.
they're giant and they don't drink a lot of it. Like, this mead is not for like
Sipping
throwing
mead.
a party, and no, it's like for super special occasions. Like, something really important just happened. It's actually for a very specific purpose. It's not one you just throw down, but my guy brought it just in case because he doesn't know if he'll run into that situation when he needs it. It's not one you just drink. So that's why they don't get high, because they only have like a cup of it. It's ceremonial. But a Goliath cup to like an elf, you're probably going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And like, even though dwarves have a really good constitution for alcohol's not the part that's getting him high. Nick is tiny. He's going to fucking trip balls if he drinks it.
Yep. What I need to do is I need to actually print everything out rather than read it off my phone. Because it was hard to make edits on my phone while I was in the middle of doing things. They're like, shit, I'm trying to edit this while I do this. It's like, people ask me questions. I'm like, give me a second.
The only reason I think D&D is good is for the HP thing. The health, you can edit our health if you wanted to. Or add and take things out of our inventory. That's the only reason I think it's cool. Yeah. Other than that,
it's pretty.
Everything else I'd rather have.
It's pretty basic crap.
Yeah, I'd rather have a player sheet for everything else. All my abilities and my stats and stuff. I'd rather have a player sheet.
That's what I'm using.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do it like if you ask for something at a shop, if it's like armor or a weapon, stuff like that, it will always be made for you rather than they just have it ready for you to take.
Because everyone's obviously
you gotta think
every sword won't be the same.
Because all these people are craftsman type people.
Yeah.
They have the professions. And
if you're a Goliath, you obviously need a bigger sword than just a fucking dude.
Yeah, as far as we know, I might be the only Goliath here.
Yeah.
There is nothing that we've seen to indicate that there's anything my size. Correct. I had to use 2 chairs and the bar.
Especially with armor. No one fits.
Well, like how the other dwarf started measuring Nick, and then he's like, "Can I get like 2 battle axes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he like takes your arm, he like twists your hands around. He's like looking at your whole motion of your arm to see how you can hold it, so that way he makes the proper weapons.
Like a dagger. Kind of simple. It's a fucking knife.
But that's what it would come down to, like questions like, how do you intend on using the dagger, and then go from there.
I don't think I'll ever get a new dagger.
Or like if I had this axe, I was like, well, what do you intend to use that great axe for? Well, for cutting, chopping, smashing, bashing. All forms of murder.
Okay. All forms of murder. It doesn't really matter how it happens.
As long as it kills them dead.
Yeah. Like I made my mini for the next character I get to play whenever I get to play it.
Next campaign, I'll DM. I said. I really would like if we could both play a game at the same time, but that I don't think is going to happen unless Mark DMs.
He keeps looking at me, just like.
Which you did say you would.
I don't know.
You said you wanted a serious campaign.
Because we would like to play as a group.
It would be cool if I could play with Wayne for once.
I would like a good one.
But also, I want to DM.
DMing's fun.
Because it's been a while since I've been able to DM.
I have 3 serious campaigns going on at one time with 3 different DMs.
That's a bad call.
It's a lot. That would be a lot to keep track of. One at a time.
I just want to do a spellcaster. For sure. I want to be a spellcaster. You know what's weird? Or it's not weird. Our last episode was all about D&D.
So this
episode. Are we just becoming a D&D podcast instead
we'll find out.
Only the future will tell.
You'll know.
The thing
just kidding. We'll know first.
Yeah, we'll know way before you
losers. We'll probably talk about it almost every time we play it.
Yeah,
at least every second episode.
Something happened, and it's like, well, yeah, talk about what happened. Like, so all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, you guys didn't know, but fucking Nick died. His character is fucking dead.
We could. We could run another campaign every other week end.
Could.
If Mark wanted a DM, but then we'd have to find more people.
Yeah.
Which would be the hard part, I think. You could find people, but I would want people that would want to be into it.
Me. Get me, you get you. We throw in Dan.
But Dan works.
Yeah, I was going to say, he would have to be available every other Saturday.
And now
unless we clapped it after his shop closed.
Well, his shop's back to regular hours, so I think he closes like 10 or 11. That would be a really late game.
And I work almost every Sunday.
I'm all for hanging out late, but starting a campaign at 10 at night sounds like something not fun.
Yeah, that sounds like going home at 3 a.m.
Yeah. I always assume at least 4 hours.
It's dead. You don't know when you go home.
Yeah. All right, now that we're done playing, let's go get fucking drunk.
Just remember, I gotta ask for those 2 days off.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe we went this long without talking about Sullivan's? W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fare is a Peoria local pub serving Irish-styled food with a few of their own creations as well. From their diverse menu to their extensive beer list and even just the overall atmosphere, Sullivan's makes for a great location for everything, whether it's a lunch date, a night out with your friends, or a nice family dinner. And if that's still not enough to convince you, then every week the chefs come up with a new special that's usually not on the menu for us to try. So the next time you're in the mood to go out for a good meal, head out to W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fare and show them some love.
I don't have to ask for Sunday, but I'll probably have to get Monday off.
I'm off for the next week.
Because Gen Con's supposed to be this weekend. This next coming weekend, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be this next coming weekend, but it's all online and it's canceled to go. But Dan still wants to go to Indy
To there.
to do stuff.
To get drunk and eat food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, because you took it.
I requested it off.
Yeah.
Originally.
And then you took it back, right?
No, it still technically was in there, but since I got furloughed, I think I just took it all out.
You took it out?
They
Like when they furloughed me, I think they took that stuff out. It's
Did you
not-
check?
No.
You might have
Yes, because
I was
I
gonna
do
say.
work this weekend.
Oh, I was gonna say you might just have 4 days off.
That's what I was
coming up.
thinking too, but yeah.
You know, because I do work Friday, Saturday. Well, I work Friday. I'm off Saturday.
I'm off until Monday.
We
Next Monday.
Yeah,
we made a
you're on vacation.
possible discovery in Wayne's car. I don't think I ever got removed from the schedule at the country club. I was never taken off payroll because when I came back and when I got back from Minnesota and they rehired me, quotes on rehire, I never filled out any paperwork. I just came back and I got a check and it was $12 an hour and I was like, oh, I got a raise. I was like, why? And then I started thinking
We
about
found
today.
the mystery. We figured out where his mystery money
When
was.
I
I started thinking about it today. I was like, I never filled out a new W-2. I just immediately got a check. I'm still on the payroll.
when I left to go weld from Best Buy before you started,
Yeah.
when I left for
They
a
haven't
week.
taken you off yet?
No, I came back. I dropped down to part time, but when I came back and I was like, I'm gonna need hours to Joy when I quit that day. I texted Joy immediately and was like, I'm gonna need more hours. And then she was like, okay, we'll see what we can do. And I came back the next day. I came into
They
Best
just gave
Buy
you
to
a
work.
position back?
And Trees was like, listen, we didn't take you down from full time. You're technically still part time. That's when they gave Kevin part time or full time. They were like, you technically can't afford another full time back there. And he was like, but we're gonna let you stay full time back there. And I was like, I don't understand how any of this works out
But okay.
because you just told me we can't have another one. But all right.
And now look at us. We have 3.
Yep. I am technically not the extra now.
And soon it will be
Because
the only.
Andrew still worked there, and it was me, Andrew, Kevin. Then Andrew left, and it was just me, Kevo, for a second. And then Lockwood came in and just got shoved his way into full time.
Here's the thing. If they don't bring anybody else back, is Kevo just gone?
I think so.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset about it.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Bold.
You don't know Kevo.
Don't.
He's a fucking jackass.
He's a good guy. He needs a different job. He shouldn't work retail. He should work in like a factory or contracting work or something.
I've met a
like
couple
that.
of people who have worked out at the country club. Just been like, you're a nice guy and I get along with you, but you should not fucking be
Nope,
here.
that's
You're
exactly-
gonna hurt yourself on one of
It's-
these machines or something.
That's not. It's Kevin. He
He has moments,
he's an extremely big jokester. He likes to joke around with a lot of people.
but
But he also at the same time has a no nonsense, no bullshit attitude, which contradicts.
So
hard.
he can make the jokes, you cannot.
Yes.
correct. And he
But
doesn't, he doesn't know the limits that he can.
He
go
doesn't know
with his
limits,
jokes.
but also he's fine with taking jokes. Like he can dish it and take it at the same time. It's like, but you can't stand around and like if you stand at the desk for 10 minutes, he'll be upset.
So
that
like,
you're standing there for 10
he'll
minutes.
start getting pissed.
so like the
about it.
second he's done
But
with a
he'll
joke,
go, well,
the jokes need to
he'll
be
go
done.
outside, smoke a cigarette real quick for 10 minutes. Nothing.
So
He's a very weird and
it sounds like the minute he's done,
he
it's
shouldn't
all
work.
done.
He shouldn't
Yeah.
work with young adults that don't understand. I don't know. It's hard to explain. He
I don't
should
think
work
it's-
with dudes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's
He should work
their
with
fault that
He should work with old grumpy men, is what he should, because that's essentially what he is. He should work in like a factory with like a bunch of dudes that have been there for 40 fucking years. You
so
know
like
what
where
I
I
mean?
work.
Yes,
Yeah.
he should work. Yeah, or
You'd
like
fit
when
in
I
better
worked,
there.
when I mowed, those are the type of people you should fucking work with.
Or like where my dad works.
Yeah, manual
Your dad is a
labor.
grumpy old dude calling you out.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be college kids that have the job at Best Buy just to get a little extra money to buy booze. Like they don't give a fuck.
Whew. Boy, do they.
90% of Best Buy just goes out and gets drunk every single fucking weekend, and they don't have furniture in their living room
It's
because
fucking
that's what
impressive.
That's how I noticed it was with most of my fellow waitstaff and bartenders. Like, if they weren't working
they do. They're getting
at
drunk,
the bar, they were
yeah, at the
customers at the bar. I'm like, what else do you do?
Yeah.
I don't like to like look down upon people on how their lifestyle is, but I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't do it.
Like literally, some people at Best Buy don't have furniture in their living room. They don't furnish their apartment. They have because
To
they.
be fair, I
To be
was
fair.
that way for a little while. That's because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, you just got the house.
I was never that way. If I had something, I wanted it
I don't.
furnished.
None of us were rich.
I was never rich.
Not all of us are as rich as Mikey. Mikey's so rich. Oh, it's so dumb he's so rich.
He's so wealthy.
Man, if somebody wants to mug
Yes,
somebody,
peasants.
it's Mikey.
Peasants, bow to me.
You below me, you peon.
But no,
I have so much debt.
Do you know why they call you a peon? You're so low that you catch all the filth coming out of me.
Catch all the pee on.
It's just the way. I couldn't see myself doing it that way though. Like
Like-
if I
like-
had
like
the money
David
to
Jordan.
have the stuff, I couldn't do it.
David Jordan. I don't think David Jordan parties as much as he used to, but when I first started working there, every fucking weekend. Every weekend DJ
Every
was out.
weekend.
Every single weekend. And I
Well,
was
it's
like,
like-
gee, and then he'd come in, I don't got no money. And then he'd leave early because he wants to go drink. And I'm like, here's why you don't have any money. And then you just blow it on fucking booze.
Well, it's like almost everybody everybody comes in and they talk about how they went downtown and they did this,
Brandon.
and this, and Brandon every day.
Brandon is like the quintessential like college dude. Like,
Dude.
He's always extremely homophobic, so I really don't like him that much because he's like a legitimate homophobe.
Yeah, and Mikey's gay, so that really hits
And
him
I'm
home.
really
it's,
gay.
it's
and I
like,
don't like
you
it.
should have seen that. 'Cause I was in the truck with Brandon as we were unloading it, and then like David made a joke about how like Mikey being my boyfriend, he's not there, and I was like, in my boyfriend, I'm too good for that.
Yeah.
And I just kept like me and David were making jokes about it, and then Brandon was like, okay.
Like Brandon doesn't understand that you can joke.
That's when I just looked at him and he's like I mean, I guess, and I'm like, listen, I'm comfortable enough and I know most about myself. I'll say whatever I want because you're the one interpreting it wrong, not me.
Yeah, you're the one who feels weird.
And it's like your opinion doesn't matter to me because I don't care.
Then you walk by Mikey. Want a kiss?
You want to kiss? And I was like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's we say stupid shit all the time, and it throws people off.
I
And
mean,
it's like,
for Taco Bell, when me and Johnny worked there, we always acted fucking gay.
people
And
just think
people always think I'm gay
Yeah.
all the time. Not now anymore. For some reason, I lost my hair.
I think
and
it's because you stopped styling your hair.
I think it's because you have a child.
What?
it's
No, well, it's
No.
when he was styling,
I had
his
a
hair,
girlfriend
he
all
used
the
to
time.
style his hair the entire time.
I think
People thought he
I
was.
You
think
look like a
people
regular
thought-
Shane Dawson, or
people thought I was gay because I took care of myself.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and it's only peaking. When I went to
Like,
Best Buy, no one thought I was gay. I had hair then, and I styled it. No one thought I was gay. For
Like,
some reason, peking
uh,
people, they were like, he's gay because he takes care. I dressed well. I had a groomed beard.
Mm-hmm.
I did my hair in a faux hawk, which I mean, I guess could be gay, but you have to be very
I
like
can't
stereotyping someone hard to just be like, you're
I
gay
can't
because your
think
hair.
of too many people I've.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I can't think of too many people I've looked at and visually just been like,
No.
I think that person's gay. I really can't think of almost.
It's
anyone.
hard. Like,
If
why?
I've done it, I don't remember it.
Why would you?
Personally,
There
I
are
just don't-
voices I hear.
I just don't care enough.
The second I hear somebody, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that man's gay.
I mean, yeah, you have the bias to be like.
But
I
visually,
hear that
just
gay
aesthetically,
voice, and I'm like, you're gay. What's his name from Menards? Cody.
Oh, yeah, everybody
Thought he was gay
Everybody
first.
thought Cody was gay.
I thought he was gay for a long
And
time,
then boom, he's dating a girl that works there. It's like what?
and it was because he never had a girlfriend when I worked there.
Yeah.
He talks with like the stereotypical gay lisp,
Mm-hmm.
and he walks and
When
like
he
he,
gets- when
he
he
carries himself like a gay man.
When he gets drunk, he gets real freaking gay.
And he might be bi,
He might be.
but like I just thought he was. But everyone thought I was that gay guy back in wall coverings,
Or like Tanya.
and I'm like, I'm not gay.
Tanya didn't realize until like 6 months after Mikey was hired.
Yeah.
that he wasn't gay. She's like,
And I had a
because, like,
girlfriend the whole time.
I was talking about how like me and Mikey were hanging out with his like fiance at the
Yeah, I
time.
had a fiance at the time, and she came in all the time, and I had
And, like I was
a
talking
ring
about
and everything.
one day how we were all like hanging out and doing something, and then Tanya's like, Mikey has a fiance? I'm like, yes? She's like, I thought he was gay. I'm like,
Why?
he's had a fiance the entire time he's worked here, so I'm pretty sure you never just thought to ask.
Never asked me. And that also at Taco Bell, I dated like 3 girls that worked at Taco Bell, and every time that we would start dating, people would be like, "You're not gay?"
What?
I'm like, "No, I'm not."
No.
My
That's
fucking
okay,
mom,
man.
when I had my first girlfriend, my mom said, "I didn't know you liked girls." I was like, "Wow, thanks, mom."
We had a really similar thing happen with Chris's mom. So apparently Chris's mom doesn't understand how being a boy and having friends works. If you're a guy and you have a friend, you hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And you do a bunch of dumb shit all the time. And you stay over at each other's places all the time.
Go to your room and just chill, play
Yeah,
video
play
games
video
for
games.
hours.
When Chris started, I think it was dating Sam. When he started dating Sam in high school, his mom was like, "You have a girlfriend?" And he goes, "Yeah. Why is that? Is that not? What's wrong with that?" And she goes, "Nothing. I just always thought you and Mark were
And you were like,
gay."
"Whoa, whoa, whoa."
And he goes, "What the fuck, Mom?"
What the fuck?
Just never thought to ask.
I think that's why my mom thought, because I was
You
hanging
never
out
brought a
with
girl over.
like my friend Alex all the time. We were going like in 4 a.m. going fishing down the creek and staying at each other's houses, hanging out. No girls to be seen, but we were in 5th grade,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah, like me and Chris started hanging out in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Like we were 12.
You're like forming really good friendships at that age with kids you go to school with.
And when
like-
you're friends with them, you hang out with them all the
Yeah,
time.
and like all throughout like junior high and high school, I had a couple girlfriends the whole time. So like Chris's mom knew, or at least I assumed she knew that we weren't
did.
gay.
Nah.
It was never a thought in my mind that
Yeah.
it was like Chris's mom thinks we're gay. Never did I think that until Chris started dating Sam, and his mom was just like, "Oh wow, that's blowing my mind." What do you mean that's blowing your mind?
Me and Johnny would carpool to Taco Bell, and that was apparently a warrant to be gay.
Yeah, you're in the same car. You're probably going there and
Yeah.
touching each other.
Johnny lived with me for a while because he had a really rough time at his house. So he moved in at my parents' house, and we would like come to work at the same time, leave at the same time, and we'd talk about
Yeah,
like
we
when
just
you
thought
get
you were a
home, when
couple.
I got home. Yeah, it's like he just lived in my
Why do
room.
you say when he gets home? It's like because he lives here.
Well, that's like
with me?
people never had that problem when me and Luke would talk about it.
Yeah.
Like Luke's like, hey, when he's like, when I get
Yeah.
home, I'm gonna do this.
You're like,
and
oh,
then-
okay.
I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. And then, like when the time he's like, hey, I'm gonna leave work early today, and then I'm gonna set some stuff up, like some Cincy burners and stuff like that for when we play D&D later. I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking great. I'll grab some snacks and stuff while I'm here when I show up, and then we'll play D&D when I get back. And then like no one questioned anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, if you didn't know Luke had a fiance at the time,
Yeah. That
you're
pretty-
dumb because they
pretty
had
dumb.
a kid. It's
Also,
like
she was there all the time.
all the time.
Yeah. I mean, since I've had a Laura, no one's thought I was gay. Like I said, when I went to Best Buy, no one thought I was gay.
Yeah, well, I think it's just because people aren't as judgmental in Peoria as they are in Pekin.
Yeah, in Pekin, like I said, I dressed well. Like I had my nice
Yeah.
rolled sleeves with my button-up plaid shirt, my nice beard, and I wore a necklace. I think
That's
people,
gotta.
people were like,
That's it.
"Yay!"
That's it.
Well,
Jewelry.
It's like when I was in high school, I always wore a shark tooth necklace for a
Yep.
while.
I had a
I got
Gay.
one while I was down in
I had a
Florida.
puka shell necklace.
A bro dude, gay.
I had a shark tooth necklace on the entire time, almost every day.
I did. I had one. There's pictures out there of me having it on. I think the one left of my black hair.
There was that one time I found a picture of Mikey and he was putting on a bra. It
That's
was
still
him
out
with
there.
a bra on.
Man, why did people think you were gay? It's not. I don't think you were giving off the vibes.
There's also a picture of, it was like my freshman year of high school, and it was me and my girlfriend in the mirror with her with just a bra on and me without a shirt. And Joy seen that, and she was like, "Michael!" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I don't know, like 14, 15. She was like, "Why do you have a shirt on? Your shirt off?" I was like, "I don't know, probably just because I'm fucking." She was like,
why does she
"What?"
not have her shirt on? Just like,
It's
it's
like,
the
what?
things
You're a bad
people
kid.
don't, the things people don't realize that happen. It's So like it's like I can't believe you were ever a child. I can't believe you ever did that
You're like,
as
yeah,
a
me neither.
child.
Yeah, I'm so confident you can say that you never did anything fucking
okay.
stupid or embarrassing.
It's true.
I can't believe you're an adult. How's that sound? Hurts, doesn't it?
This episode is brought to you by the Beard Struggle. It's always time to grow out your face forest, so why not start today? And while you're at it, you'll need some solid products for the upkeep of your beard. The Beard Struggle has everything from trimmers to straighteners and day-to-day care tools. So visit thebeardstruggle.com and use promo code TIMESUP15 at checkout for 15% off. Come on, guys. Don't let your beard be weird. Get the products you need. And if you're not sure what you need, they have a quiz just for you to get products tailored to those needs. Again, visit thebeardstruggle.com and use code TIMESUP15 at checkout. That's TIMESUP 15. May Odin be with you.
Rape ya.
Like
I think that about you.
the first
Cool, thank
experience
you.
I had, like, because these guys all already knew Tim. I didn't know Tim.
Yeah, and Tim fucking smacked me.
And we get there, Tim smacks Mark, and then just starts talking shit about everybody at the table. I'm like, what the fuck
This
is
is the
going
worst
on?
experience I've ever had.
And then I start to realize, I'm like, oh, it's because he knows everybody. Because, like, you can have that kind of, like, relationship between people if they're there that often.
Yeah.
And then for, like, the next 3 weeks, like, 3 nights a week, we would go at 3 in the morning to eat at Denny's. Because we'd be like, oh, we're up all night playing League. Blah, let's go to Denny's. I'm kind of hungry. Let's go to Denny's.
Like us with Hardee's.
Yeah.
What's Hardee's? 11 o'clock at night.
It's like back when I was playing Xbox all the time, me, my brother, Ryan Garretts, and Austin Ogle were like, it's like 1 in the morning. Let's go to Steak and Shake.
Oh, a steak and shake with the spot.
Yeah.
That's like a Midwestern thing, I feel like.
They've got steak and shakes other places.
Yeah, not south. 'Cause my
No.
family from
That's where it
Texas.
turns into like Checkers and stuff like that.
Whataburger.
Checkers.
Shit. I love
Yeah.
Whataburger. It's so good.
Like that, we would do that, and like we weren't even like because it's like we're clearly out past curfew, but we're here. Like we would sneak out of our house to go. Well, it was kind of okay because Austin was over age. Austin was over 18. Me and Ryan were about 16, 17, and Nick was like 15, 16.
16 was curfew in Bartonville.
Pekin.
Pekin's 18, homie.
That's weird. Bartonville was 16.
Yeah, Pekin.
I got a
weekday
curfew
curfew
ticket.
is
Because
weekday curfew is like what, 10 or 11,
10 o'clock.
and then weekend is like midnight.
it was 11 until, and then the weekend was midnight
Yep.
in Bartonville. And we had to be 16.
We were in high school. I was 17. My birthday was in 3 days. We walked to a friend's house from another friend's house that we were staying at to get frozen pizza because his mom just bought a bunch of frozen pizzas and we're like, fuck, we're hungry. Go get frozen pizza, walk back. Walk past, there's a house party at our friend Dalton that's walking with us, his sister's house. We leave our friend's house, we're coming back, we see some people run.
Cops.
And then cops pull up behind us, and they're like, well, we just crashed a house party, caught a lot of people underage drinking. We're just like
walking.
seeing if you guys were just walking back. And we're like, no, we literally left a friend's house to get frozen pizza. Dalton had it in his book bag. And then he's like, you guys are out after curfew. You realize it's like 1 in the morning, right? We're like, yeah, like we're literally at a friend's house, got hungry, left to get pizza, and we're on our way back. Pizza's literally in his backpack, so they search his backpack, find the pizza. I'm in basketball shorts, dude. It's winter.
It's winter.
I'm just standing there, so I just like cross my arms.
Like,
and I'm
I'm
just
cold.
like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, I wasn't that cold, and now that you guys are here, you're holding us up, so now I'm a little cold. I stopped walking, and then I'm like, can we like just finish going back? And then he's like, no. He's like, we gotta run some stuff on you guys. How about you guys hop in the car so that we can stay warm for a second? It's gonna take us a little bit to run this to assure that you guys weren't at this party. You know, I'm like, great. They're gonna fucking like breathalyze us. Me and Dalton sit in the same car, and Dalton immediately goes like, he's got a fucking AR because the cop had an AR in his car. And yeah. He like immediately pointed it out, and he's like, dude, I hope we don't get fucking in trouble for
They're
everything.
supposed to take that out.
When they put people in there.
They're
Yeah,
not
I know.
supposed to have suspects in the car
Yeah.
with their vehicle.
There's also a shotgun sitting right fucking there.
in the center rack.
Yep.
Bang.
But we were sitting there, and then I'm like, Dalton, because Dalton pointed at the AR, and they pointed at the shotgun. I'm like, how about you don't?
How about you don't do that?
And then, of course, like they go, like they don't let us out of the car, and they're like, yeah, we gotta take you guys downtown and call your parents. We're like, what?
Whoa.
He's like, you guys are out past curfew. I'm like, I literally turned 18 in 3 days.
You're like, well,
What's the difference between 3 days
3
from now
days,
and
too
this?
soon.
And he's like, well, you'll be 18. I'm like, why does it matter? We drive by, and we see our other friend walking, that was at his house with his girlfriend, walking her home. She's younger than all of us.
And they're like,
And
nah.
he's just walking her home. Drove right past him, and I'm like, why didn't you stop them? And he's like, well, they look old enough. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
You're just like, I have a beard.
I did. I'm
You're
just like, what do you
like,
mean?
nah.
And then, of course, get there. My dad gets a call. By the time we get there, it's like 3 in the morning. We show up. My dad gets a phone call in the morning. Yeah, fucking mad as hell. Tim's mom shows up. Takes him to go get McDonald's. Takes him back to fucking John's house. I can't fucking leave to even go get my car.
They're like, no.
So I'm like, fuck. My parents were like, you can go get your fucking car tomorrow because they're pissed that I woke them up. I'm like,
You're like, this wasn't me.
this isn't my fault. We wanted pizza. We went for the pizza. My dad's like, did you guys have the pizza? I'm like, yeah, it's in Dalton's fucking backpack.
It's
And then-
right here.
Because my dad asked the cop about it, and then he's like, so why'd you stop him? And then, like, he's like, well, it's out past curfew. He's like, he turns 18 in 3 days. And he's like, yeah, I just can't do that. And then I'm like, oh, you guys gonna write curfew tickets? And then they handed us all curfew tickets. I'm like, great! And then that's when I think Dalton was like, yeah, and people say Pekin cops don't need to meet a quota every year.
No, Pekin cops fucking. Well,
Because, like, if you notice in January, they fucking give people tickets like crazy
Some
because
of
they
them are
want to
bad.
stack it up at the beginning.
some of them aren't bad. I can't talk about my neighbor Justin. I've never had an interaction with him when he's in uniform, other than like him coming home or doing something.
Mhm.
So I have no idea. But I've met most of the cops I've met in Pekin, which aren't a lot. I don't know why. I just don't give off an aura of trouble, I guess. Every time I've been pulled over, with the exception of one, they've just been like, yeah, whatever, get out of here. Wayne was with me for one of them in Peoria, and he was pissed off the second it happened. I didn't signal at the stop
Was
sign.
that soon after you got your ticket coming back from the rail?
No.
Because I remember
No,
how
this was
pissed
like
you were
right.
about
This
that.
was like right before I moved to Minnesota. This was like 2 weeks before I moved.
Maybe you weren't coming back from the rail. It might have been like just for fun or something.
No, because I got pulled over leaving the rail.
Yeah.
That
And
was
you were super
I was
pissed.
fucking
Yeah,
mad about.
I remember you were super mad
Literally
about that.
drove away and the motherfucker followed me. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? I haven't had a single drink all night. I'm not even 21. He's like, you were swerving a little bit. I'm like, bull fucking shit, I was. I was like, you're looking for a Rick and reason to pull me over. Then all of a sudden I see Mikey, Ryan, and some other people going. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's just
Yeah.
so bullshit.
We got right to that intersection just before all the shops up on Prospect, and I rolled through the stop sign, and I didn't signal.
Yep.
I just kind of barreled through it. I was also pretty sure I was going like 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit. And I turned that corner, and I see the lights go on right as I'm about to turn in the parking lot. So I turn in the parking lot and pull to the side, and he pulls up behind me. And he goes, I'm going to need your license and registration. So I give him my license. I can't find my registration or my insurance.
Wow.
So I was like, well, I know I have it. So he goes, well, I'll be right back. And he walked back to his
He can
car,
look it all up with you.
came back in 5 minutes, handed me my license. I was like, I think I've got my insurance right in here. And he goes, nah, don't worry about it. You blew the stop sign. Next time, just make sure you
Yeah,
stop and use
pay
a signal. And that was it. He's like, you guys have a good day. And he walked away. And Wayne looks at me and goes, what the fuck was that? I'm like, I don't know. It happens every time. They're just like, you have a good one. I'm like,
That's
okay.
weird. I've only had one cop. I've been pulled over like 9 times. I've had one time where he let me go without a ticket, and it was like I blew a stop sign. My muffler was fucked up, so it was extremely loud. My turn signals were out, so I blew a stop sign turning right with no turn signals, and my muffler was like bah! And it sounded like I had no muffler at all, but it was just broke. He was like, you blew a stop sign back there. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't see it. And he was like, oh, that's good, man. Just pay attention next time. Walk back to the car. I was like, okay.
I blew a stop sign and they searched my car.
At the one time I did get a ticket, I had Chris and Aaron in the car. And I think that's the only reason I got the ticket is because Chris and Aaron were in the car. Because I was going down Court Street around Jamesfield. And this dude kept like switching lanes to go around a car. And then he wouldn't speed up to pass them, so he'd get back in front of me and
Your
cut me
rage
off.
set in?
Yeah, he would just keep cutting me off. He like, I'm gonna pass him. Nope, I'm gonna pass him. Nope, I'm gonna pass him. Nope. I was like, I'm fucking done with this guy. So I sped up into the lane, passed him, flew past him, and we were right at the turn for Jamesfield. And so I turned on the road, and I definitely was on 2 tires. So I was going way too fast. We landed back. I get back into the lane I needed to be in. I don't think I cut anybody off, but I wasn't paying attention, so I could have. and then we get just past the bend down towards Hardee's over here. Like, we're going to the sweet spot, and then I see the lights behind me. So I pull over just before the sweet spot, and he goes, so, what happened? And he looked around the car and saw Chris and Aaron, and he goes, well, I'm going to need some ID from everybody.
I've had 3 no insurance tickets.
I've had all speeding tickets.
I was definitely going.
1 no license tickets. My first week of driving.
Because you didn't have it yet?
And I was driving here to bring Justice a Monster. And that was it. Because I just got my license. I was like, fuck yeah. It was like, fucking, 11 at night or something. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to drive.
What's the one time, my girlfriend came over to my house. She snuck out of her house. I took her home. I come back. I realized, I'm like, fuck, her wallet's here. I'm like, she has to go to work tomorrow, and she refuses to drive without a license. So I'm like,
smart lady.
I gotta take that to her. It's already 4 in the morning. I'm like, fuck me. So I'm driving out that way, and I get pulled over, and the cop's like, what are you doing? I'm like, taking my girlfriend her wallet because she's got to work in a couple hours. And he's like, so you been doing anything special tonight? I'm like, no, literally just been at home.
No.
And he looks kind of light at me. He's like, your eyes are kind of red. I'm like, it's probably because I'm fucking tired and sleep deprived.
You're like,
I was like, I should be in bed right now, but I have her wallet that I have to take to her.
He's like,
just what I gotta do. So then he's like, I'm gonna need you to get a car. I'm like, why? Why now? So then he started doing a field sobriety test on me and everything. And then I stumbled a little bit, and he's like, you haven't had anything to drink or you haven't been under the influence of anything? I'm like, no, I'm literally tired. I'm not even kidding. So he's like, how about we do a breathalyzer? I'm like, good idea.
Good idea. Get this over with.
So we did that, and then he's like, all right, it seems like you're good to go. Just make sure you get her wallet to her safely and return home safely. I'm like, that's the fucking plan. I didn't intend for you to fucking be here.
When I got my ticket, what's the road? Fuck, what's it called?
Where?
The one that, from here I would take to get to my house all the way.
8th Street. I mean, it turns in 8th Street. Right up there, it's 5th.
Yeah.
The one that goes all the way...
Yeah, it's 5th and 8th
all the way, really? All the way to the highway?
Mm-hmm.
When I was going down that and got my...
Is that where you were speeding?
My reckless driving ticket.
Well, North Pekin cops will fucking pull you over going 2 over.
Oh, I know. And I was going 40 over. No, I was going 60 over. I was going 140. Because it was me and Johnny, this girl named Danielle, and Seth in the car. And I was driving, and this dude, I went to go past him. I think I was going 45 in the 45 area, right past cemetery and stuff, and I went to go past him, and he sped up. So I started speeding up because I was 18, and I was like, fuck this dude, I'm going to speed up faster than he can. We were both speeding up, and I was going 80, and Johnny leaned over to me and says, you guys gonna let him do this to you, Pook? And I was like, fuck no, I ain't. So I was like, Wah! And started going, apparently up to 140 eventually. And I was way past him at that point, and I started to slow down, and I was just like, whoop, and saw the car, and I was like, and Johnny's like, he's gonna come after us. And I was like, whoop, whoop, and he started pulling up after, and I stopped in front of a house, obviously, right before, past Ray Dennison, but before the next car salesman places, and I pulled to the side, and and the guy came up, and he just looked in, and he was like, so is there a good reason you were going 60 miles over the speed limit? And I was like, no.
Nope.
Not really. He was like, not at all. Can't think of one. And I was like, I was just being an idiot. And he was like, okay, I'm going to need license from everyone. He got everyone. Seth's young. He's 16, 15 at the time. Danielle's 16, 15 at the time. Me and Johnny are 18 or whatever we are. So Seth's mom had to come get him, even though I'm his uncle. He was like, you don't have custody of him. And I was like, that's pretty dumb. It was 2 in the morning or something. So then Seth's mom came and got him. Danielle's mom came and got her, and she was a very mad lady. Seth's mom, Brandy, was extremely mad at me. And I was just sitting there like, this is dumb. And then I had to have my mom come escort me home while I drove. And I was like, this is stupid. I was like, couldn't just give me a fucking ticket. But then he had to take my license and everything because it was a reckless driving because it's 60 miles over.
Yeah,
so I had to go to
go
court,
too fast.
pay court costs.
I was definitely going 25 or 30 miles an hour over when I went on 2 wheels.
Good amount
It was in my
over.
first car, in the green car.
Oh, the one that didn't have reverse?
Yeah, the one that lost reverse. It had reverse at that time.
You ever
But,
seen a moment where like his car is parked in a bad spot where he couldn't park, so people have to like pick it up and drag it out?
No, we had to push and move my car a lot.
That's ridiculous.
It's
I
a very
learned.
light car though.
I learned very quick. Well, yeah, it was light enough. I learned very quickly. If I couldn't pull through, I didn't need to park there.
I didn't need to park there.
Yeah.
You'll find a spot.
If I ever pulled up into somebody's driveway, I would literally just open my door and stick my foot out and push my car backwards. It's basically about as heavy as a golf cart.
Get it to start moving.
I'd push it.
I remember that little green car. Oh, dude, Garrett gets in that car.
Whenever I
Garrett gets in, he
had
goes,
whenever I had the top down and Garrett was in my car, his head created enough drag that it turned my car. I had to steer against his head.
You had like counter steer.
It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, because Garrett, super tall, super big guy.
Yeah, big dude.
In my Beretta, I used to give Garrett rides everywhere because we would go play Magic and we would go to the mall and stuff all the time. So we'd go just for fun. Because Garrett would be like, "Oh, you want to go play Magic?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah,
And we
sure.
would go, and Garrett had no other way to get there, so he would just ride with me. Gets in the car, and there was one winter, like I had never realized how close his head was to my sunroof.
Yeah.
And my sunroof is completely ice. Where Garrett's head was touching, Garrett's like, "Man, dude, my head's cold." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's a sunroof above you and it's ice." We get there, the circle where his head was touching was melted. I was like, Jesus Christ! I didn't realize you touched the roof of my car.
That's funny. When did Titan Games open up?
It's not Titan.
When was it? When
Cabbages
it was,
and Kings.
Yeah, but I'm talking about past right
When it
now.
was Showdown.
I don't know.
Well, no, he had
It was just
Showdown
like
and
when
then he
you guys-
moved to Titan and
Because
called it
you guys always went to Just for Fun. All
Yeah,
the
we
time.
used to go to
when
Just
I,
for Fun all the time.
When I met you, and I
Oh!
hated it there.
That's the first time you met Jake.
Who's Jake?
You met Jake once because me and Lauren told him we were twins.
Oh. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we're twins. Like seriously, he's like, gets real close. He's like, I can see it. I'm like, what?
Because I remember being behind. I was
Yeah,
behind
identical.
him when he was saying that. I was like,
Yeah, identical, actually.
Yeah.
identical. Yeah, but I hated that place. I hated going there.
Just for fun. I don't like going to Just for Fun. Just the vibe of it.
The dude that,
owns it, or the mean guy.
the guy that was mean.
Yeah.
He wasn't mean to me, but
If
everyone
you-
said he was mean to people.
Well, yeah.
He was a jerk.
He's a
The-
minis guy. If you don't have anything to do with minis or Warhammer, he doesn't give a
The guy
fuck
behind
about
the
you.
counter, right?
He's one of the guys behind the counter.
He's a skinnier, older dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was one of the main reasons that I hated going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not
Because
talking about
he was never
minis-
mean to me, but I seen that he was an asshole,
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
was like, I don't like being
Well,
here
'cause,
with
like,
this dude.
he-
And also the people there.
With how much he's about minis, he's literally like, we'd come in and play Magic. First of all, owner hates Magic players.
Why?
because he's
That's
had to
just-
deal with them since it started.
At
And
the shop.
well,
Yeah.
he's an old school. The way Dan likes to explain it is Mike is an old school game store owner, and the way it used to work is if you had a game store, you were it. If anyone, anywhere, wanted to have something to do with that hobby, you had to go to him. So his mentality is, I can charge you whatever the fuck I want. You're not going to go anywhere else. You have to come to me. So he doesn't give a fuck about anybody in that store.
That is where I met Dan, though. So I'm thankful of Just for Fun for the fact that I met Dan.
I just hated going there.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go there.
I
with
also
Lauren,
didn't really like
and I was
going there to
like,
play
oh, this
Magic
place
because,
fucking
like, when I got to the area where the Magic was, I was totally fine.
Yeah,
Other
in the
than
back.
when, like, Cole was like, well, I'm going to draft. And I'm like, I have nothing to do now because I didn't know you were going to draft. I've never done it, and I don't have money to do it.
He's like, and I didn't drive.
And I was like, I also have a commander deck, and you drove me. What do I do?
I just remember going there. I only went with you, like with me, Lauren, you once, to Just for Fun. Other than that, it was me, Lauren, Cole,
Yeah. Well, because I was with Cole when we went.
and then after that, but it was the same every time. I
Because,
was like,
like,
I
we-
could literally leave right now and be happy.
Because
as
that's
fuck.
when I borrowed Lauren's commander deck, and then I dropped her deck box and it cracked, and she was super pissed about it. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, it wasn't my fault. I think that's when she bitched at Cole for letting me use his
Yeah.
stuff, like her stuff, and he's like, you don't fucking use it, and I bought all these cards anyway. Like, why does it matter?
Yeah, she wasn't really into Magic that much.
No, she was into the atmosphere of people playing
Yep.
board games and stuff.
I think she liked people. She's a people
She liked
person,
people being around.
which is weird that we worked for so long.
It had been true.
I think I sacrificed a lot doing all that.
It was never a 50-50, bro.
It was not. I went there and I just sat there and did nothing because I wasn't even into Dungeons and Dragons or any kind of board game at
No.
that time. I wasn't even into
When
anime.
I first met Mikey was a prude.
Prude.
I don't know what that
Shun.
means.
Shame.
But I wasn't into board games or
Shame.
weird. Another thing that she was
We
in
don't- we
she
don't
was
have
in
a
the
bell.
anime a lot. She was heavy into anime, and I
Yeah.
We had a bell.
could give a fuck less about anime at that time.
Because I remember it was the first time that I walked in and saw her Entertainment Center, and it's like One Piece. I'm like, holy shit.
Also, it was right when Attack on Titan was coming out.
Yep.
With the first season, and they
One
were
Piece is
extremely hard. And I seen the pictures of it, and I was like, "This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Big naked people." I was like, "This is dumb."
Once you watch it, you're like, holy fuck.
And now,
not a
I'm
big
like,
fan.
"Fuck yeah, fucking Attack on Titan,
Not a
One
big
Punch
fan.
Man," and you know, like it.
I
Nah,
love Attack on Titan.
It's
not
good,
Attack on Titan,
but
anyways.
I don't love it. But I think it's a good show. I
think
like
it was-
I like things with more depth with Attack on
I think it was
Titan.
kind of
I don't
hype
think-
when it started, but
Attack on Titan doesn't have a lot of depth.
No, it's
I mean,
big people come,
it-
we kill them, action, blah blah blah.
When you actually pay attention to how the story unfolds, like later, then it has big depth to it.
It's obvious. Like the first whenever the lady, no one knows that one lady is a Titan.
Yeah.
Like the
The
first
blonde girl?
fucking time you see her and the weird weird she is, I'm like, she's a fucking Titan. I'm like, she's gonna.
Well, like for
She
me,
turns
when
big.
before I watched it, because Garrett recommended it for so long, and I was like, nah, well, I'll get around to it. And then I read the manga first.
well, the second I saw the dude with all the armor, all the bone armor and the blonde and the white hair, I was
Mhm.
like, "Isn't that dude?"
And then, like, the first time I
Because
saw,
the Titan literally looks like them, except for Aaron's Titan.
I just remember
Aaron's Titan looks a little different, and then the giant meat dude looks different.
In the most recent season, Aaron's about to die.
when when the big blonde,
Spoilers,
yeah, what
my
the
bad.
fuck's wrong with you? When the big
Hey,
blonde,
man, Titanic. I haven't watched it yet.
when the big when the big blonde Titan is like chasing them through the big open field
Yeah.
area, and they're kind of like, what's it? I forgot, I don't know their fucking names anymore. One of the people turns and like looks at her weird, and she looks at him weird, and he's like, like he realizes it. I'm like,
Yes.
it took you that fucking long to realize the big blonde Titan with blonde hair
Who
is
looks
the fucking-
exactly like your
Yeah,
friend
is the lady. I was like,
is actually your friend.
It's like it looks just like her if you ripped all her fucking skin off.
and even then, after that, they were like, is she a Titan? And it's like, no fucking shit.
It's like you guys literally watch Aaron turn into a Titan every other episode. Yes, regular fucking people are Titans.
Also, you don't go anywhere but this city, this section of the city.
who
Like,
else could it be?
The
yeah,
thing is, like,
who the
when-
fuck? You know these people pretty fucking well right now.
It's like when you start getting into it and you see like when they later on you actually start realizing that like the Titans are trying to eat the people that have the Titan core,
Yeah,
like
they're
the
trying
actual
to-
like Titan abilities, like Titan fodder abilities, so that way they can be human again.
Also,
It's also a huge Nazi thing. So like the Nazis
Yeah.
put them all there.
The most I heard is that they're on a different continent and the Nazis put them there.
They're on New Zealand.
Yeah, they're on an island and the Nazis are like, get these guys the fuck out.
Yeah, because they're testing weapons.
yeah,
That's their new weapon. Because this is during like the World War II time.
And didn't these guys like figure it out? So they're just like, oh, we're gonna go fuck up the Nazis.
yeah, because they have like fucking Mosin Nagants or Kar 98s or some shit. And
Yeah, because it's during like World War II and stuff like that, and then like they're like over there testing them as weapons and how to use them. But throughout the whole civilization, like people realize that the Titans, like if the Titan fodders can change. Well, there's only one specific Titan fodder at first, which is like the main Titan herself. But then she like splits everything into 7 different ones, and a whole bunch of other shit happens.
Like I said, it's entertaining, but it's
It
not.
is.
There's no depth to it really. Like there's a little bit, but
I'd say there's depth now.
I'd say it's equivalent to One Punch Man, but definitely not as good.
It feels to me like a series that didn't intend to be as big as it is. Like it's a guy just made it, he was having fun with it,
Then
and
it
then it got
blew the
fucking
fuck
huge,
up,
and he's
yeah.
like, well, I guess this matters now. Like with One Punch Man is just supposed to be fun. Like if you read the webcomic,
It
One
just-
Punch Man's just goofy and fun, and it always comes back to the same thing.
It's just like when
But
people
Murata-
take One Punch Man seriously.
Murata
you
is
can't.
making it a much more solid. Like he's really expanding on the story
Yeah.
behind the One Punch Man. Like there, you got Saitama doing his thing, and then in the background there's all this shit going on, and
Yeah.
then whenever it comes back to Saitama, it's like, ha, punch.
Yeah, bam, one punch.
It's just
One
like,
moderately
when
powered
people
punch.
try to take Saitama seriously, that's when it's like you miss the entire point.
Yeah, who would win, Saitama or Goku? Saitama.
Saitama's fucking one
Who'd
punch.
win, Saitama or God? Probably Saitama.
One punch.
He's literally a comedic character. He is built to be the One Punch Man.
Now, if you put him
Literally,
against,
he is a joke.
yeah, even when you put him against another comedic character, unless the comedic character is a very similar thing to
It's
One
like,
Punch
yeah.
Man,
Well, here's the thing:
Slightly
if you take
faster
two
One
characters,
Punch Man.
if you take two characters and their entire purpose is just to be a joke
that's the
character,
strongest thing possible.
then neither of them win. It'll be a draw.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Because
Just
they'll
there.
do their main move and all of a sudden they just burst into dust.
Yeah, because it's just for fun. Like when everybody, there was an artist who did One Punch Man mixed with DBZ, and it was literally just a goof. He was like, oh man, I'm just going to the grocery store. I'm late for the sale, or oh, I'm going to join this tournament. He joins the tournament, fights Boo. Like he wins the tournament, he wins all these Zenny. He wins like 100 million Zenny, and he goes back to his apartment, and Genos is like, it's not worth anything.
Yeah. He's like,
He's like, that's not real money. And Saitama's like, fuck!
Man, I thought it would.
it's so good. I love that.
Yeah, he
rewatch
just
it.
like blasted Boo.
I mean, that's how it would go. I do like how in Super, like, they actually, like, when Boo actually, like, he starts taking fighting seriously again.
He's like, I'm gonna train, and then he passes out.
Yep, that's
That's
the only
like-
thing I didn't like. And then as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, they're bringing Frieza back.
What was
and
that
then
one
they fucking
thing?
did.
Dude, Boo training would have been, bro,
We
he would have been so
did-
strong.
We talked about that one episode we were maybe gonna make about people versus people.
Like, most overrated, like, overpowered character.
no, not that one. It was way before that.
Oh, I think I
Who
remember what
would
you're
win
talking
that?
about.
Like, who would win? Like,
Yeah,
this person versus
and we
this
said
person.
Spike Spiegel versus someone. That it was
It's-
I'm
yours.
trying to remember.
It's like
It
when
was,
as soon as I typed it into the Google Doc, Mark looked at it, he's like, why does he get Spike Spiegel?
I think it was
It was a very similar character.
it was G.
played
It was
by
the same voice actor.
Yeah.
It was Jigan
And we're-
from
yes.
Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, Simran, yeah. And we were asking, I was like, well, is it hand to hand or not? And Wayne was like, we'll do both hand to hand and guns. And I was like, well, in hand to hand he wins, but in guns Spike Spiegel wins. So this is not really that fun of a
Here's the thing.
competition.
I don't know if Jigan wins in hand to hand. I think if he's allowed to have, if we do martial weapons, I think Jigan might win. 'Cause
Yeah.
if he gets his sword and Spike,
I
gets
think
his,
that was a thing.
yeah,
Like,
if Spike gets his broom.
and that's but it's like,
Hey, dude, with his broom, he swooned a woman.
But still, this man changed forever with
Gets
Oh,
his fucking
broom.
He swooned a woman.
sword. Obviously, Spike Spiegel's gunplay is
I
way
will
better
take,
because
like,
that man
when,
knows nothing about guns.
Well, here's the
really.
thing. It won't even be gunplay. It'll be like, bang.
Yeah, because he'll just be like, what?
It's like
What the fuck is
I
it?
do enjoy like when I'm working and I'm doing ad set and stuff. When I do have to do the movies, the only movies I enjoy is when I get to the anime section because I
Yeah.
see all these. I remember all the.
Yeah, you're like,
movies.
the memories.
It's like the one time I came across. I was sitting there and then I was scanning it and I scanned Spirited Away and I was like, Spirited Away. And then
I do
Lachlan
that
was
with.
standing next to me. He's like, "Why'd you say that one?" I'm like, "It's a good movie."
I said that with Howl's Moving Castle to him. I was like, Howl's Moving Castle? And he was like, what?
Does
I
he
was
not
like,
know Studio
Howl's
Ghibli?
Moving- He doesn't know anime. He doesn't know much
Oh, Totoro.
about
It's
things.
fuck Totoro.
For sure, not anime.
Fucking movies about Totoro. It should be Cat Bus.
Cat bus.
It's fucking mostly Cat Bus. Fucking Totoro's like, I'm here for 10 seconds.
Cat bus.
Stupid fucking Totoro.
Cat bus. is
We do have a
dope, though.
decent
Kiki's
selection
delivery
of
service.
anime.
boy.
We have a that's it.
I like Castle in the Sky.
Well,
yeah,
I
Kiki's
really
delivery
like
service.
Castle in the
One of the
Sky.
things I like most about, I guess, the first ever like anime style drawing I did was when I drew the thing from Spirited Away. You know the
The
mask, yeah,
Yeah.
the mask, and like it's literally just the mask, and then the black bot.
You're like,
And I'm like, I drew an anime character. Yeah. And then I got better at it as I went on.
I don't think I ever drew anime stuff.
I didn't.
I haven't.
I never
drawn,
had an artistic
I
talent.
haven't drawn one since high school.
Have you seen my my Tiefling Paladin?
You put so much work into the fucking body and not the face.
I'm not really. I can't do faces.
You're not a face
he
person.
erased the face and just put a smiley face.
I
on that.
did. I literally
There
just
you go.
made it of just a.
It was fucking hilarious because he's like,
I'll.
yeah, because like I told him about it because like I got invited to him a bachelor party.
Yeah.
For Austin and stuff. And then we went there, and then like I told Mark to make his character sheet before we went, and it was like a week before, and he's like, all I've done for like past like 2 hours is draw my character. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck you mean you drew your character? And then he showed me. I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, his face is a little fucked up, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fix it. I'm not good at faces, so he just erased it and put a fucking mask on.
I'm gonna fix it.
I think.
God.
Here, I'll find a picture of it and show you.
But it's like, for the longest, like I used to be pretty good at drawing anime. I don't know if I can do it anymore. I'm sure if I took some time to do it, I could do it.
I could draw one thing good, and it was a little drawing of a tree on a hill. And that was it.
Well, I used to be good at like looking at a picture and then recreating it on a piece of paper just by looking.
You know who's a
at it.
really good artist that never draws anymore? It's Johnny.
Johnny?
He's
I've
extremely
never
good.
heard Johnny talk about drawing.
He never really talked about it. He was really good though. He also has really good handwriting though. Like he can write calligraphy.
So this was
Very
the
well.
original face.
I see. I see the reasoning.
And if I could find the fixed one, I know I sent the fixed one to somebody over Discord or something.
Everything else good. Face no.
Yeah,
Johnny was really good at
ferocious.
eyes.
This is what he ended up being.
Very well done.
So like he looks really good,
But then you get to his face,
and then you
you're
get to
like,
his
okay.
face, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
You're like, there could have been something there, but there's not.
It's like I used to have to keep a binder of all the stuff I drew.
I had a binder of things I doodled.
Like, well, there was for a time I'd put on Facebook like, if you like put your name and I'll like draw
Yeah.
what anime character you want me to draw, or like say put a comment what anime character you want me to draw, and I would draw it. And then there was one time I was like, put your name and I'll put one of the original Pokemon that I think you are. So I was drawing Pokemon.
Did you ever in school? Did you ever play anything like we played Doodle Wars, where a bunch of us would have one piece of paper and I would draw something, and then the next person would draw something that kills it, and then the next person would draw something that kills that.
Oh, we didn't do that way. We just added to each other's picture.
We had that. Well, we did that too, but we had Doodle Wars where we would just draw, and then eventually,
Like,
when the paper was filled, whoever ended on drawing something.
I didn't do fun
Killed
things.
it.
My life is depressing.
Okay.
I've never heard of this.
Me, Ryan Garrett's, and I think it was Devin Rutledge. Like, so one of us would start a drawing, and the other one would add to it, and we'd pass it, and the other one would add to it.
Me and China did that.
There was
also.
one time we made this fucking one bummed ass fucking kid that had these weird fucking plugs in his ears, and he had a fucking like beer belly. Out of like he had fucking a bag of Doritos
Was
in
it
his
Dalton
hand.
Justice?
And no. But like then,
Was
like,
it Dalton
he had, like,
Arnold?
Super baggy pants, and he had a bunch of like pimples and stuff on his face. He had a really like, smug, shitty look. He had spiky hair, and there was a fucking Xbox console next to him with a controller laying on the ground. And like out of the console, you see a quote bubble that said "Get fucked."
Get bucked.
Do you know who Dalton Arnold is?
I can't say that I do.
I've got to show you this fucking person.
Did I describe him?
Yes.
You're like, it is exactly him.
But that's what we did. We drew. Well, that was also like one of the, because before that year, I got approved to not actually do anything in class
Mhm.
because I still understood all the stuff, even though I would just sleep the entire time. So I would just like, be
They
like,
let
no,
you do
I'm gonna
that?
go to sleep. Yeah.
They just gave you a test, and you're like, you did learn things.
Jesus Christ, I did describe.
That
it.
is exactly what you described. That's 100% what you just
Fucking
described.
impressive.
Minus spiked hair, but if he
I was like,
spiked
are you
his
guys
hair.
talking about Dalton Arnold right now?
But yeah. Well, we weren't technically supposed to sleep because we have had too many kids OD.
Peeking.
Yeah.
Peeking things.
Woo! But people would OD and they're like, well, you can't sleep in your class because you would OD and die if you're doing anything. And it's like, but I'm just fucking tired.
Like, I'm not doing drugs.
Why are you assuming I'm on drugs?
It's like, this class is boring, so I would like to take a nap.
I never slept in school.
Oh, I slept
I
through
did.
fucking Miss Rona's math
I
classes
can't
all
nap,
the time.
though. I have an issue with napping.
I got to the point
Miss
where
Rona?
Yeah. She didn't like me.
Unfortunate name.
like, now,
Yep.
but like, it got to a point like because we had a study hall classroom that was literally just you couldn't talk.
Yeah, just study.
Yeah, and it
We
was
had those,
if
too.
you didn't have like a class,
You had
filled
to
in,
have work, is what mine was. You
Yeah.
had to have working on something. Not
Yep.
drawing, can't be doing. You have to have an actual piece of something you're working on.
You know, ours we had to do something, but we could not talk
Mhm.
or do anything else. Like I couldn't be on my phone or anything. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna sleep. First year I did it, fine, because the guy didn't really care that much.
Yeah, he's
Then
like,
we got a new teacher in there, and then she's just like, I was like, you're just a fucking glorified like lunch lady, like watching us just in this classroom.
that was normally this.
And then because like
The old
you're not
teachers.
like you're literally not facing her, you're literally facing the fucking wall.
Because it was also the
like
Saturday to school. It was also the detention room, so everybody faced the wall away
Yeah.
from each other.
So I was literally sitting in there, and then as I'm like sitting in there, I'm like, dude, fuck this. So I pull out my phone. I had a Pokemon emulator on there, so I was just playing Pokemon
I
on
did
my
that.
phone. And then one day she was like just standing there over my shoulder, just watching me, and I just evolved my War Turtle. And then like I was like, yeah, I got a Blastoise. And then John just is sitting here just fucking laughing his ass off because I'm like happy I got a Blastoise. She's just watching me the whole time. And then she's like, "What are you doing?" I just like set my phone down. I'm like, playing Pokemon.
Playing Pokemon?
It's like,
What does it look like?
you're watching me. I can't fucking lie about it. I'm not gonna be like, no, nothing.
What do you mean?
And then she's like, how long you been doing? I'm like, I literally do it every day.
4 months.
This class is fucking a joke. And as soon as I was like, this class is a joke, she's like, you need to go to the dean's office. I was like, okay.
Alrighty.
Got to the dean's office, pulled my phone out again, started playing, and then the lady was sitting behind the counter. She's like, you can't have your phone out. I'm like, do you have your phone out?
You have your
And
phone.
she's like, I'm an adult. That's not the point. I'm like, you're training me to be an adult, therefore I can have my phone out.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Well, it's like the one time
Story time.
I was like,
Again.
It was back when we used to walk.
For the fourth time.
Back-to-back story time.
We used to be able
Back
to
to
walk
back to back story
outside.
Champion.
Like we used to be able to walk outside of school,
Yeah, and then people got a bunch of fucking fights. Stupid.
and
We also
people
had
would just
that.
leave.
Yeah, we had both those issues, and that's why we couldn't do it anymore either. What happened to you?
I just stabbed myself on something.
Splinter.
Why'd you go and do that?
I don't know, but it hurt really bad.
Master Splinter is in the house.
They went real deep into my cuticle and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. But like we would walk outside, and then one day we came inside, and I was holding on to Andrew Moss, holding on to his book bag because like we were friends at the time, and I was like sitting there just like running with him. And
Yeah.
I had a pencil in my hand, and my pencil was stuck him in the back of the neck. And he went and fucking told the dean's office that I was stabbing him with a pencil.
What a dick.
I'm like, excuse me? Like I'm stabbing you? And they're like on the camera like, yeah, we can see you like stabbing him on the camera. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like I was holding on to his book bag. They're like, well, he's got a lead mark in his back. I'm like, there's a fucking accident. And he just sitting there the whole time because like as soon as I came in, he's like, man, like, the teacher told me I had to come here and talk about this because she saw the mark on my back. I'm like, bullshit! You fucking were being a crybaby little bitch about it.
Yeah, if
He probably went to his class and was like, oh.
here's the thing, like if you have a lead mark, like if you have something super small, like a little scrape or something that was an accident, and somebody says, "Hey, what's that?" It's like, "Oh fuck, I don't even know."
Yeah. Wayne was stabbing me in the back.
Yeah, that's very different from I was assaulted.
Yeah, someone definitely
Yes.
had to tell them.
Yes, 100%, and he did. And I was like, you're a fucking little pussy, dude.
I went to the dean's once, and it was for an auto tech when our teacher was backing the car up. I didn't guide him in, and he scratched his mirror lightly. I wasn't tasked to do it, but I was just standing behind the car watching him. I didn't give a fuck about auto tech also. It was just another like elective
It's also
that I
his
chose.
fault.
Yeah, it was. It was 100% his fault and not my duty. And he got out of the car, stood next to me, looked at the mirror, looked at me, and said, "Go the fuck to the dean's office." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You heard me. Get to the dean's office." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, you can either go or I can have someone escort you there."
Here's the one
And I was
thing.
like, "What?" And I went there and they said, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know." And they were like, "Where'd you come from?" And I was like, "Auto Tech." And they're like, "So we have to call Mr. Wester?" And I was like, "Sure. I don't know why I'm here." And he called and they were like, "Go back." I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Go back to class." And I walked in. He said nothing to me. I just went in and sat down and it was like,
Kid
looking
watched me
around.
scratch my mirror. It's like,
yeah, here's one
I'm
thing.
pretty sure they were like, "Fucking let this kid back in the class."
Here's the thing I really just do not understand about public school teachers at the high school level. I don't really think I ever noticed it before high school, but at high school, for some reason, public school teachers just think they have fucking God-given authority
Mhm. Authority over everything.
to do anything they want. God, it pisses me off so much. The
Yeah.
teacher that abused it the most against me was Miss Deliri. Fuck
she abused
Christ.
it all the fucking time.
Well, there's one time we were doing a slideshow. We were doing a lesson, and it was a multiple choice slideshow where the whole class was participating. She, if situation A is occurring, blah 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 blah. Which one is the right answer? A, B, or C, or D? I was like, well, it's A and C. A and C both work. And I'm like, they're not the same answer, but they both work for the problem. She goes, nope, and she hit the slide, and it said A and C. The slide she had made, the PowerPoint she created, told her she was wrong.
And you're like,
And
"Yeah,
then
there
I
it
was
is."
right, and I was like, C? And she said, get in the hallway. Like,
And you're like, "What?"
for answering your fucking question?
like,
For not
"No."
being retarded? For paying attention in class? I'm so goddamn sorry. I'm sorry I fucking studied. So that
What a
was the
lady.
exact moment I just said, fuck this class. I did nothing. The rest of the class, I got to go to Six Flags with everybody else for free. Didn't do any of the fucking
You're like,
worksheet.
"Fuck you."
We had like a 30-page worksheet we were supposed to do. I didn't fucking do a piece of it.
I had a similar.
The best part
thing.
was I passed that worksheet.
I-
Some
She was like,
girl,
"Fuck this."
well, there was a bunch of schools that went, and some girl from a different school saw that I hadn't done anything, and I don't know if that like kicked off her OCD or what, or like
She was like, "I
she
gotta
was,
fucking
or she
do
was
this."
like autistic or something. Not to be mean, but like if she had to see work done.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Give me this." She did my whole paper. I didn't see her for the next 3 hours. She found me in the park and handed me my worksheet done. I was like,
You're like, "Thank
"Okay."
you."
It's like we used to in biology. There were 4 of us sitting at a table, And I wouldn't say that we were like the smartest people in the class, but we were kind of the smartest people in the class for no reason. Like we shouldn't have.
Very contradicting of your statements.
Well, it was one of those situations, not where they like were smart. Everybody else was just dumb.
We always got our papers right because the way we did it, we're like, hey, for this week, like today, the homework, like because we would get like weekly assignments that we didn't do every Monday, so we'd do them throughout the week and turn them in. It's like, well, you do this section, I'll do this section, you do this section, I'll do this section, and then we'll just copy everything down.
Yeah. So you only had to focus on one part.
Yeah. So we literally went through, we did all of that, and then, like eventually the teacher kind of caught. He's like,
you guys all have the same
you guys
exact
all
answers.
have very, very similar answers to each other. You're answering them all correct. Kind of suspicious. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why are you suspicious? And he's like, well, for starters, 2 of you do this all the time, and 2 of you have had wrong answers in the past, and since you've sat here, you have not. And I'm like, hey, we just got smarter. And he's like, okay, let's cut the crap.
What a guy.
He's like, how are you guys doing this? And we're like, well, we broke it down for him. He's like, it's fine that you're doing it that way. He's like, are you guys just like retaining the information when you copied it down? Like, when you like, are you guys talking about it when you group up to do this? And we're like, well, yeah. And he's like, then you can keep doing it. The moment I quiz you and you get one of these wrong, you're done.
I think that's just like efficiency. That's
It is.
efficient, very efficient. I mean, you don't learn the information, but
As long as you can retain it, you're good.
yeah, if you can retain it.
That's like when I was in math. I didn't pay attention for shit, but somehow I still understood everything she was putting out.
Subconsciously, you knew.
So like,
Yeah,
I did the
like-
homework before they do the PowerPoint to understand how to do the homework. Like she was handing it out to 3 of us, and we're like, finish it, and then we turn it in before we left because we never did homework.
Yeah, I did a very similar thing in my environmental science classes up in Minnesota.
You were just like, man,
I didn't understand what my professor was talking about at all.
You got it all.
But when he gave us the test,
you were like, oh yeah,
suddenly, as I was taking the test, I was like, yeah, I know all about karst topography.
duh. Who doesn't?
And I was the only person to get 100 on the test. I was like, how did I do that? I was like, I definitely wasn't paying attention.
Very impressive.
To go back to the teachers yelling at you for no reason.
Yeah.
I had when I was in grade school, in like I think 6th grade or something. We were learning about the Civil War, and the teacher asked a question, and I'd never raised my hand, but I knew the answer for 100%. So I raised my hand, and she didn't call on me, but I was like, oh, okay. And then when she said it, I mouthed it with her. It was like Abraham Lincoln, and I was like, Abraham Lincoln. And then she locked onto me and like put her hands on her hips, and was like, do you have something to say? And I was like, I just knew the answer, and I was just saying it with you. And she was like, I'm the teacher here. And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm the one that leads the class. And I was like, I didn't say it. I mouthed it. I didn't even say it to you. No one heard me. And she was like, you need to go to the principal's office. And I was like, why am I going to the principal's office? It was so stupid. I was like, first of all, I said the right answer. You should be happy that I learned in your class and understood. I was like, second of all, I did nothing wrong. I didn't talk over you or anything. Like, there's no reason for me to go there.
Have you ever seen like the reverse where the kid is just so ridiculous?
Yeah.
There was a time where me and Dalton Cassidy, we had to go to like an extra speech class because we had fucked up speech. So
Had?
Shut up.
Yeah, jerks are jerks.
No, jerks.
like,
they be jerks.
So me and Dalton went to it, and like when me and Dalton were in this class together, I mean, we were like fucking assholes.
They were just fucking.
We were
They were
fucking
just a bunch of fucks.
assholes.
Just a bunch of fuckers.
But like we were assholes about it. Like there was one point like we were like saying shit, and then the teacher just fucking like I looked at her and I saw that she was crying, and she fucking covered her eye, and she covered her face with a flashcard. She's like, "You guys can just fucking leave." I'm like, "What?"
Like, wow.
I'm like, "What?" And then we walked out the door, and then like Dalton's like, "What do we do?" I'm
What
like,
do we do?
I'm like, I don't know. She said leave.
Yeah, like,
What do we do? Like, do we just like leave, or
leave,
do we just go back to our classroom? 'Cause
Wait
it was,
till
like,
it's
it was one of those
class
things where they
now?
pull you out of class, do the thing, send you back to class. So we just walked back to class. We were there for like 10 minutes. We walked back and they're like, "You guys done early?" And we're like, "We were told to leave." And then that's when our teacher's like, "Oh no!" So she called and she asked what happened, and she came up to us. She's like, "I'm disappointed in both of you." I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "You guys were jerks."
Guys were jerks.
And you know how jerks are.
Sometimes they're
They're jerks. Jesus Christ.
Of course you bring it up.
Jerk.
I wonder why your speech didn't get fixed.
Shut the fuck. Anyway, that's time's up.
Is that all we have, really?
Jerks are jerks.
Jerks are jerks
Hey, we talked
because
about a lot.
sometimes why?
Because sometimes. Has anyone ever been so far as to because sometimes?
I don't know. Wayne talked about some deep shit.
About some deep jerking.
Dude, I'm
Deep jerky.
deep jerking and woke as fuck.
Yeah, this is the deep jerk.